welcome to the garden. Last night we got a downpour. We got so much rain. Everything is just soaked. Looks all real happy. And just this morning, check this out. A little toad. Not so little actually. He's on one of our bonsais. Oh, there he goes. Spooked him. But my goodness, look at this. That looks just about perfectly ripe. It's a beautiful dark red. These wild strawberry are really an amazing plant. They actually continually flower all year. Wow, look at that one. That is a beauty. Let's see if we can give this one a taste. Oh, they just separate so easily. Just lovely. Oh my gosh, that flavor. Wow. That's got to be the best one I've ever eaten. Oh wow, that was perfectly ripe. Oh, I gotta find some more. There's something really weird happening over here. There's a little bee, but check this out. A little black fuzzy caterpillar. I thought that was mold at first. It looked like it had gone rotten. But it looks to be a little fuzzy caterpillar. That's cool. So I'm willing to let him have a fruit. Oh, he just had a little poop. But last night's rain really kind of washed out a lot of our wood chips. This is why I don't really like wood chips, because they will wash out in a torrential downpour. Look at all this topography changed. But everything is super well watered today. Probably won't have to water for a week. It's crazy. Let's check the gauge. You can see the gauge is almost full. Look at that. Just under 5 inches. Now, this isn't a perfect gauge. It has this little ornamentation of a ladybug, so it could potentially skew the results. But to me, it seems pretty close. We got a whole lot of rain last night. That's beautiful. Almost 5 inches. Wow. I bet the rain barrels are just brimming. Down here is where I planted some seeds. Just scattered some broccoli and some peppers and things. So far they haven't been eaten by mice or rabbits. That's usually a really big concern with me. And it's why I grow in so many containers. The mice and the rabbits will just decimate the young plants. I've had them chew my broccoli stems and then just leave the plant toppled over. They didn't even bother to eat the whole thing. Here's our little wildflower. Looks like it got battered. Hopefully that'll rebound though, because this is a real beauty. And we're getting a seed pod over here. So that might actually produce some seeds for us. That'd be great to have a little self-sowing annual like that. Oh, I love the asparagus after a rain. That is gorgeous. They always remind me of Christmas trees. And the way they're decorated with these little ornaments. I mean, those are just the seeds, but they're really beautiful. And it's hunting grounds for a lot of things like damselflies. But right now I'm getting these Japanese beetles. So I'm going to have to come by and control these. But there's a little damselfly hunting. They really like them. And they're nice and tall too, so they're great vantage points for little insects like this carpenter bee. Just looking around for some flowers. Doesn't have to look very far because we have oregano. Our oregano flowers are beautiful right now. And you can eat these, they're really nice and pungent. They're just like the leaves. But these bring in the great black wasp every year. They really seem to love the oregano. So this year I've completely pruned them back from the trail. You can see anything down here got a really nice clean chop, and I could probably even take this one I just don't want to brush up against them, not only because they're really freaky looking, but I don't want to disturb them, you know. So we leave each other alone this way. We've got basil in ground, really not doing as well as my in-container basils. Our soil is really clay rich and tough, so I don't think it likes it quite as much as our compost. Got tomatoes setting fruit. Shouldn't be long till we get some beauties. Sage, looks like it's just about done flowering. Now we had a pepper here, not looking so great, but I'm just going to let it go, see what happens. There's a hoverfly checking out our marigolds. Good to see that. But these marigolds go crazy. All summer they keep producing flowers over and over until you just have a huge bouquet per plant. And they last all summer into fall. Then we've got mint over here. We've got thyme along here. The little baby toads aren't quite so numerous now, but the ones that are here are getting larger. But look at all this washout today. All these wood chips and things backed up. Looks like it even messed up our border. So I might have to do some landscaping through here. Our black beans look really nice. Tomatoes look great. So last night's rain, we got some good and some bad. But this is my in-container basil that just looks magnificent. So we'll do a big harvest pretty soon of this basil. And we might pinch off some of these flowers. But I do want some of them to flower so we can get more seed. But all this washout spilled out through here, down through our chives. I really want to heavily plant stuff like this because it really holds back the soil. I sowed a bunch of stuff in here, but it didn't really take. And now we have all this erosion to deal with. Look at how it's just back down to the weed suppressant material. So that's actually good that that's there, but we'll backfill a little bit and then do more clover and things because look at this. Nothing. It just looks beautiful, doesn't it? It's like a wild meadow. I love how it's spreading up the hill too, so I want to continue to spread this, and we can kind of weed around our stepping stones here and maybe take some cuttings. Try and get a little bit of root when we peel these back and then transplant them elsewhere. Check it out, we've got a little spider web down here. That's beautiful. I'm surprised it survived through the storm. But in places where we don't have a lot of clover, right in here, look at all this washout. We just didn't have enough plant material here. And down here is the worst, check that out. So I'm going to rescape this a little bit, and we'll raise up these stepping stones so that hopefully next time the water will kind of divert around them, and then we'll plant some more what people call weeds, like this common plantain. These actually really hold back the soil. And this purslane, I'm just letting this stuff spread because it's actually doing me a favor. I don't like taller weeds like these wood sorrel, and whenever you get rain they just really get a growth spurt. So I am going to pull these. They're just not low enough. But just underneath them, check it out, we've already got a purslane and a little plantain. So we'll just let those take over. I even like things like dandelion. As long as you keep it under control and don't let those seed pods spread, then it's actually a nice beneficial weed in the garden. They may attract rabbits, but I'd rather give them a little something to eat so that they're not looking up to my containers, because look at all this beautiful growth. This is my cucumber. This is the best one we have this year. And check it out, we've already got little cukes. A little bit bigger than my thumb. That's a beauty. That's just about right for little baby pickles. But I actually want a couple nice fresh cucumbers first. before I kind of let them all grow to about this size, and then I'll pick them and pickle them. But I do want some for sandwiches and salads and things. But look at all this new growth. Just the other day, we bound it to this brand new stake, and that's about where the growing point was. And now we've got all sorts of new growth with 2 new flowers and a whole bunch of tendrils and brand new leaves. So I'm going to wind it back up. We're just going to keep climbing and climbing until we get to the very top. So it'll be about 5 feet tall. It looks beautiful. I'm just training these arms to kind of come back a little bit. I want to keep it a little bit under control. I don't want it to spread and take over my tomatoes and my basil here. Look at that basil. Wow. We're going to harvest that soon. And I've been harvesting beets. Every time I want a beet, I can just come down here and pluck one out, because they're little and perfectly sweet. They're about the size of maybe a golf ball in between a tennis ball. So they're a pretty decent size for a little snack. And we've got so many, I can just weed them out as I like, and then let the other ones grow back in. But our carrot actually flowered. Check it out. That is crazy. That was a first-year plant just from seed. Usually they have to kind of overwinter as a root before they'll set out flowers, but this one just went straight to flower. They do remind me of that Queen Anne's lace, and they're closely related. Right down to these little grass-like things underneath the flowers. Queen Anne's lace has that, where the hemlock doesn't. But we're going to get some new seed, which is great, because I planted all my carrot seeds. So I'm happy to replenish my stocks. And then our oregano is bringing in the bees this morning. Finally getting a little bit of sun after nearly 5 inches of rain. That's so crazy. Thanks for joining me today out in the garden. I hope you all get out in the garden this summer and give it a grow. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.